honestly, I don't know. I mean, really, the only thing that I've ever tried to do as a screenwriter and filmmaker is, you know, try and create an authentic world with emotional honesty. So, you know, a lot of times I pull from my own life. A lot of times I'll just go out and, you know, when I come up with the idea for what I'm looking to explore, I'll go out and speak to people and try and dig from their lives. And this film is probably the most personal film that I've made. The idea came about, I was acting in a movie last summer with Tyler Perry. Tyler just rewatched Brothers McMullen, and he said to me, all right, so, you know, your first two films were about this Irish-American working class world, and both films were very successful. Why haven't you ever re-explored that milieu in 15 years? And quite honestly, I didn't have an answer other than because I was just, you know, working on other things, and the story just didn't present itself. But he said, you should really think about super serving your niche. Take a look at what I'm doing. Obviously, seems to be pretty successful in this niche. So maybe there's a thing to learn there. I walked into my trailer, opened up my laptop, and I just wrote interior of the Fitzgerald's kitchen day. I had no idea what the script would be. Other than I had an idea, because I had two of my best friends who both happen to be Italian. One is one of 9, one is one of 12. And they always tell these great stories about how within that family there are several other, like, sub-families. And one of the great stories was about, you know, the 3 oldest kids. You know, their dad was, you know, right out of the service, no education, a little bit of a drunk, an asshole, and really tough on the oldest 3. By the time, you know, 8, 9, 10 showed up, he was sober, educated, making a pile of dough, and those kids thought he was the greatest dad in the world. So I just thought, all right, that's a really interesting dynamic to try and play with. So that's kind of what I was trying to explore. The other thing is, I have a great advantage in that I've worked with all these actors before, and during the writing process, I pick their brains, and they're always feeding me with what they think will make this a better screenplay, what will make the characters more interesting for them to play. But also, the thing is, you know, as I mentioned, emotional honesty. That's sort of the check that we give each other. So maybe that's something.
Anyone has a question? Please raise your hand. Yes, go ahead.
When you started out, did you anticipate you'd have this family gathering at the end where 2 have broken up with their boyfriend, girlfriend, one's left her husband, you've got everybody single, I mean, all the kids there. Your character has a budding relationship, but you start out thinking that's where you're going to end up.
No, everybody heard the question? Pretty much. I didn't really know how I was going to end the film. I knew that the family was going to come together. I didn't know who would be together at that final Christmas moment. The one thing that I wanted to try and figure out is, you know, how would each one of these 7 siblings, what turn did their life take because their dad left? And, you know, my character is still living at home, having to take over sort of the role of the father figure, from Kerry's character dating the older guys, to Marcia's character being in sort of with the wrong guy in an unsatisfying relationship. Caitlin Fitzgerald, the abusive guy, the young son Cyril becoming a junkie. You know, that father making that decision to abandon this family. I wanted each character to have, I think McGlone's character says, hey, we all have our daddy issues. So I knew that I wanted them all to be, you know, kind of fucked up because of it. And I didn't want, you know, I was trying to imagine what that final scene would be, and I just thought, part of the trick was, how am I going to get rid of anyone who isn't part of the immediate family? Because I didn't want it really to just be about that core group being reunited. So I had to come up with the thing with March's kids who screwed up in college, and that's why we're not going to meet them, and come up with some things in order so that I could make that plausible.